Does anyone realize how much of a pain in the butt it is to set up to do in-house videos, especially when you don't have like standard studio lights? I've got a studio light. It's sitting right over, well, on the camera it looks like over there. It's actually over there, but that looks like I'm pointing to the bookshelf. And it's a really expensive studio light, but the problem is I don't have a studio light stand, so it does me absolutely zero bit of good. So we're gonna do first impressions with some new discs because I wasn't on the bandwagon, so I'm a little late to the game here. But I unboxed them, I added them to my list, and that's all I did. I didn't even look at them. So we got Ohm, and we got 2 reactors. I had to get this one because it's all black and it makes everybody mad, but it'll probably go in the shelf over here and not ever get thrown. But the reactor is supposed to be our new mid-range awesome. And looking at this, I want to grab another disc too. Oh, let's grab one out of the bag. Oh, where you at? There we go. So we're just going to do some first impressions here because my opinion just absolutely matters more than anybody else's. I just want y'all to know that because that's totally false. So what do we got here? Let's see. I'll look at it this way. You look at it that way. So we got a higher profile parting line. I will say the new flashing removal technique they're using is very nice. That's really clean compared to some of my older discs, which have a little bit of flashing on them. I've never really minded it. I think it helps them break in a little. Helps them break in smoother, anyways. I guess I don't know. Oh yeah, we're doing reactor. Let's put the Ohm aside here. We're gonna do the reactor first because this is the golden child, right? You can see it a little bit better there with the overmold. So I was looking at this. I'm like, all right, what discs would be comparable? And they're saying the Matrix is one of the main comparable discs. We'll put the black one aside. Pretty cool. We're gonna grab some discs that it's supposed to be like. So I got a stack of Matrix here. We've got 2 protons, electron, and a neutron. So the protons, these are old school protons. Of course, if you remember when the neutron came out, this stamp came out immediately when it came out. Now my neutron matrix has a little bit higher parting line, and it makes it a little bit more overstable. And this is the disc that I really want to try out versus the reactor, because the stable fade that I get out of this matrix, the proton matrices, and even my electrons, they're just stupid straight. My electron matches up with my old protons, but I did look them over compared to a post, and you're probably not going to see it on the camera here. We'll try the old school. Can I get it in the camera? Oh, okay, maybe. I can't do it. The top leading edge of the older molds from the original factory when they were doing them at the Maple Valley Plastics headquarters versus in-house at the warehouse, it's a little bit more squared on the older discs. You can see it like the neutron one here fits in. I don't know if the neutron, I think the neutron was done at the old place too. But you get into the newer proton or the newer electron ones. I don't know about the other plastics, but this top leading edge is just slightly more rounded. Somebody else noticed that the other day, so I grabbed all of mine and I looked at it, and the difference is really minute, but you could, I mean, you look at parting line differences, a millimeter difference in a parting line on disc to disc can be a huge difference in flight further down the line, especially on slower flying discs for their stability and how they have low speed stability. I don't think they matter as much personally with the high speed stability. It's more when they slow down, but when you get into the bigger drivers and stuff, that big swept wing, that parting line makes even more of a difference. So we're gonna compare. Let's use the neutron one here, because that's the one I'm hoping it's closest to. We're gonna compare these because it's supposedly to be like a matrix. Okay. That's a lot like a matrix. That really is a lot like a matrix. Let's see if we can get a. Oh, I got an idea. Hang on. It's right around the corner. Art school, where are you at? Oh yeah, you're right here. All right, got my big easel thing here. It's a clipboard, so we can get a little better idea of where we're at. You can see the patterns are pretty similar. The reactor's got a pretty similar parting line. The where the flashing's at on the parting line is a little bit higher, but it's definitely a matrix-inspired disc with a little bit higher. You can see with the overmold. Oops. You can see with the overmold, it's a little bit more. You can kind of see that on the bottoms here. Wow, this is some great camera work. When I look at it more from the side, I can see there's a little bit more. It's not a bead, but there's a little bit more showing than on the matrix. I'm not looking at flight-wise, but I think. So what are the yeah, I'm so prepared. Let's see here. It's pretty easy to get. Reactor. 5.5 negative 0.5 1.5. So there, my chart is saying for the matrix 5.4 negative 1 2, and I thought this was going to be a little bit more of a stable matrix, because the problem I run into with the matrix is I don't get enough fade out of it. But I'm seeing a little bit more upslope here on the reactor, which is going to give it a little bit more of that understableness. But the way the rest of it's set up, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more controllable. As for, I don't know. This is definitely something that's a field experiment, and I don't throw worth a crap. So whatever. All right, done with the reactor. Oh, we were gonna look at the reactor versus some other discs here, because I was thinking, I love the Vector. The Vector is one of my favorite discs. The Vector is in the 13 millimeter class along with the reactor and the matrix. Let's look there. This is an old school proton vector, or not proton. Haha, I'm funny. Electron. Let me get that right because I'm paid professional. Vector is probably one of my favorite discs. The Vector is definitely taller, similar in a couple ways here, but less aggressive. I think the Vector, from what I'm seeing, is going to have more fade on its finish and more glide for sure. Okay, Vector, get out of the way. Entropy. Let's take a look at it versus the entropy. Hopefully this actually works pretty good for showing the differences in the camera here. Go look at the screen. Oh, the entropy is definitely taller. The form parting line is pretty close. You probably can't see it in the camera, and I'm not going to adjust the light because I'm already having enough lighting issues. But the rest of the design's pretty similar. It's got more of a matrix top on the entropy. And the Vector, that's a really neat mashup, I guess. These guys think of some crazy stuff. Okay, so the entropy and the Vector were the two extras that I was thinking of here. That goes back in my bag. Reactor, cool, can't wait to throw it. I don't think it's gonna go in my bag. This is a 175. This one says it's a 178. I don't know if they're that class that 178 can actually work. Oh no, it says 177 on the bottom, so I guess they go up to the 180 class. Man, that thing feels like a beefcake too. All right, Ohm. This is supposed to be the gyro boys pilot, and Team Squadron. Home style, it's good stuff. That's all pilots right there. Yeah. So, to compare this, I busted out this Winter Series Firm Electron when they first came out. These Winter Series discs, if you can get them, are fantastic. They fly so good. They putt so good. If you like Electron, they've got that grip. I'm not a big Electron fan, but these ones really impressed me. This one's got a bunch of really weird pink stripes and stuff in it, and I'm like, I'll keep that one. So I always order a couple extras, and they end up in my collection over here. I got a green one and blue one and some other ones over there, and I just wanted to grab something that's about as new as I got. And this is just a lab second. I can't find anything wrong with these lab seconds. I don't know what the heck the deal is. There's nothing wrong with this thing. Apparently there's something stuck to it because I've been using it for practice putting in the house. Alright, so those are our two we're going to compare with here. Let's take a look at that rim. Going on 12 minutes here. Let's see, we got that slight bead on the bottom, just like a regular pilot. We got, you know, let's grab an Envy. That's a brand new Envy. And let's grab an Ion. Cool Ion can we grab here? Let's grab this Ion right here. Let's grab these two. Because the Ion's a beaded floaty putter. The Envy is a micro bead. So with Envy we can see definitely with this more pronounced wedge. It's looking to be a little bit more overstable. This is pretty neat here. Don't even know if they released a Cosmic. Oh no, they just did that with the last MVP series there. I think they finally did this one. This is a lab second, so this was obviously a mess up for something, but this thing looks honestly perfect. If you haven't checked out my lab seconds videos, go right ahead. Unbox them. Initial thoughts. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this stupid thing. There's so many discs in those things. There's just like free awesome stuff. Let's see, I got my mini orbit deal here. Somebody sent me this. This is it's got that micro bead. We got more of that rounded edge though, and that's what we're looking at here. Let's look at that rounded edge. So those are pretty similar, but we got a little bit more of that ramp right here. It's a little bit more ramped. Let's see if we can see that on the board here. You can see the ohm is more rounded. Looks like it's a little shorter. Oh yeah, it's definitely shorter. It's considered a 9mm class too, which was, I think, was what was kind of interesting. And it's supposed to be pilot based, but the pilot's a 10mm class. So 2501 neutral stable. Okay, so we looked at that. Let's get that pilot out right next to her here. Then look at that pilot versus that. Oh wow, that is. Yeah, that's pretty spot on there. I'm seeing a little bit more of an aggressiveness on this leading edge here. We got a little bit more aggressiveness here, which is going to give some more stability versus this one, which is a little bit more subtle, more rounded. Honestly, if you're looking for something that's not as deep as those Ions, but to complement like an Envy for more like a straight punch shot, I almost guarantee this is going to give you speed 2. I bet you this is going to give you that spin glide with that better feel. Let's see, feel-wise on these here. What do we got? Yeah, it's definitely shallower. It's just a slight bit shallower, it feels like, than the pilot. Yep. The measurements are just slight difference. Okay, I'm more excited over the Ohm than I thought I would be. I was kind of in the meh range, being a pilot guy, but I think this is going to be a pretty legit disc. This one's 172. They're only off by a gram on the back. Stickers are usually pretty close. Every now and then they're off, but stamp looks good. Clean stamp. This red, it's not really red, guys. People at MVP, if you're watching there, a little cleaner on the colors for these. I like that. I like that nice, you know. I like that nice red. I mean, that's red. That's red. That's kind of like I forgot how to be red, and I'm kind of confused. I don't need. No, I'm just kidding. I'm making stuff up. Yeah, I'm excited over this Ohm. It feels good in the hand. Let me grab my regular putters here. Ooh, that's a little. Oh, that's a little different right there. Yeah, that 9mm width is definitely. Oh, it's a little bit smaller right there. Yeah, barely. I can feel in the crook of my finger right here. I can feel there's a little bit difference in the grip. It's so subtle. I doubt anybody's gonna ever notice that, but just a little bit. And fortunately, like with the these here, you can see it more visibly than here. But I don't have a pair of calipers. I'm not measuring that anyways. Well, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yep. Huh. Well. Ruler says I'm stupid, so is there more bead on there then? No. I mean, the pilot itself has more of what I would call a defined bead. I don't know. That's cool. So yeah, Ohm. I'm gonna say try this one out. If you like putters, you like playing around with putters, you like trying putters. I love putters. Putters are fun. Top row over there, that's all NVs. Those are all pilots. You can't see the other rows. I've got about I don't know. Let's look at the list here. How many ions do I have? I don't even throw an ion. How many ions do I got? I've got 15 ions. 10 anodes. I got lots of spins. I throw the spin though. I got 10 spins. Couple particles. Bunch of atoms. How many atoms do I got? I got 7 atoms. Yeah. Putters are fun. Don't ever be afraid to buy putters. And the reason I say that is putters are where it's at. You need to make sure that you're most comfortable with your putters, and you need to make sure you know what putters do, because there are times where your game's going to change or you need to change, and what putters you have available to you is really important, especially if there's a wind change for the day. And don't be afraid to carry multiple putters as well. So I'm gonna definitely put this Ohm in my bag, and my ion is a little bit smaller in diameter there, not by much, but it's the same diameter as the pilot's. So, cool. All right, that's it. Just random first impressions. If you guys care, I'll go throw them on video. If not, I'll just keep it to myself because, like I said, I'm important. Later.